Namaste everyone. I welcome you all in the ongoing lecture series as a part of International Day of Yoga 2025 celebration. Today, we are truly honored to have a very important personality with us, guiding force and a foundational pillar of our S-VYASA institution, Dr. R. Nagarathna Didi. She started her journey in conventional medicine, having completed her MBBS and MD and later on honored with FRCP. Today, she is a pioneer in the field of yoga therapy and currently serving as a Chief Medical Director of Arogyadhama. Welcome, Didi.
Namaste. I bring greetings from SVYASA University on the occasion of International Day of Yoga, which is being celebrated on June 21st, 2025. It is a unique opportunity for all of us to celebrate this International Day of Yoga because it is a soft power which can bring people together. And I'm very happy to know that the theme of this IDY is One Earth, One Yoga, and One Health.
Thank you, Didi, for your kind words. Now, with your permission, I would like to ask you a few questions. The first question I would like to ask is, what integrated approach is being followed in Arogyadhama that differentiates it from other medical systems?
Very useful question, very important question. Let us understand what is the need for integration and how we do it. I used to work in the Department of Rheumatology in early 70s in United Kingdom. Those days, almost 40-50 years ago, medical science had already understood that the rheumatoid arthritis is an autoimmune disease. Autoimmunity means our own body immune system fighting with our own bodily protein material, and that causes rheumatoid arthritis. Large number of rheumatoid patients would be admitted, huge halls like this, people with 10 joints replaced, 5 joints replaced, lot of disability, and we were injecting steroids into the joints and gave them lot of immunosuppressive medication. But even those days, we knew that it is a lifestyle disease or a mind-body disease, and we had already called it as psychosomatic, meaning the root is in the mind and body is showing up as inflammation in the joints. But what have we done in 40 years? We have understood in great detail what is autoimmunity, how the immune cells start fighting, how does it pick up, what are the chemicals involved in this autoimmune process, and we have developed wonderful immunosuppressant drugs which will suppress this. That has helped rheumatoid persons not to get into deformity. There are many surgeries that can be done, medications that go on taking lifelong and keep them functional. But at the same time, what have we done to the root cause? When we give anti-autoimmune drugs, we are only stopping the immune system to fight in the tissue level. But we have already known it is all in the mind. Here comes the need for mind management, and even if we think that we are going to continue to work on the mind through a psychologist, how old is the science of psychology? Freudian time, Freud was called the father of psychology. Even today, psychologists are trying to define what is mind, how to handle the mind. We have gone through a long process of 50 years of search where we have moved on from one type of counseling to another type of counseling, but it has not changed the prevalence of these autoimmune diseases, etc. But here is a science, yoga science, which is 5,000 years old. What our rishis did, what our saints did was to see that we want to understand what is the fundamental reality of this universe, what is the fundamental proper material, unchanging material, real material, which will never change, is the quest with which they started. Modern science also started searching on this, and we have come up with 40 years of research to show that the entire physical universe is made of atoms which further divided into neutrons, protons, and now what is the final answer? Entire universal material is made of E equals mc squared, pockets of energy. If you apply that to our body, yes, every cell in the body is made of those electrons, protons itself. But is this enough to understand how does your mind affect the body? Is the basic question which they investigated as great seers who had a deep insight of their own body, and they studied the people around, learned from nature, and introduced a science called Ayurveda and naturopathy and yoga. What does yoga do? What is the protocol that we use here, and how did we work? How do we help people with various non-communicable diseases? Is the development that we have done over the last 50 years by a large number of scientific publications providing evidence-based integrative medicine.
Thank you, Didi, for the enlightening answer. The next question I would like to ask is, what kind of daily routine would you advise to the audience to maintain their health and well-being?
Yeah, that's a very important question, beta. What we decided to do is, when I came back to India in 1975-77, we wanted to develop a protocol to help people to correct the root cause of the problem. As I told you, the root cause is the mind. Body is suffering. What is the connection? How does it happen? What am I doing in my mind which is percolating into the body as a disease? Is the big question that we had to clarify in the logical way to understand, and of course take it on to implementation in our system. What does yoga knowledge tell us? We call Sage Vasishtha, the guru of Sri Ram, said that we can divide all diseases that we see on the earth under major two categories, where karana, the root cause, is a cause from outside, maybe an infection, injury, or some toxins that get into our body can damage the system. We have seen that in the pandemic, how COVID came and killed us. This is one category of infectious diseases, communicable diseases. But there is a large number of non-communicable diseases, which we can now call as lifestyle problem. They are labeled as lifestyle. So it is an internal imbalance. We call it as Adhija Vyadhi. Vyadhi means disease, Adhi means internal imbalance, Ja means born out of. So disease is born out of an internal imbalance which is happening in the mind level. Our understanding of 5 aspects of personality tells us that mind is a very repairable or reversible process that we have the choice in human race. So the problem in the mind is to be tackled. What is the problem in the mind? We say it is stress-born. What is stress? There are challenging situations we have to face, and when we face these challenging situations, we may be able to take it in the right spirit and handle the situation very effectively. But there are several other challenging situations where we have no freedom, we have no mastery, and we get stuck in our negative emotions. Negative emotions persisting over a long period of time is the root cause. What are these? Maybe several types of anxiety or anger, frustration, suppressed emotions. This is the root cause of our persistent chronic stress we all go through. And nobody's life is a human race which has the capacity to change this response at the mind level. The sages tell us, kartum, akartum, anyatha kartum is the freedom element that is inborn within human race. Kartum, to react and be angry, shout at people, scream at people, or I'm very anxious, there was a difficult situation I had to face, and I'm reacting with anxiety. We see a large number of participants who come to our Arogyadhama where they say, when I have to face a boss, I get so anxious, my voice gets locked up. And it could be much more severe causes which push them into anxiety. I meet good number of participants from software companies. I have got lot of anxiety. What is the anxiety for? It is, I don't know how long I will be in this job. I've been working for 10 years here, but I don't know tomorrow whether I will have a letter in my desk when I come in the morning that will say that you have to quit the job. So that anxiety that I should perform so that I can retain my job is a big anxiety that we are facing. So anxiety, anger, frustration, we know how to suppress also. You say if such an anxiety or anger, boss is difficult, he is unnecessarily finding fault with me, I get angry so much inside, but I can't shout. I know how to suppress this. So to react and express it in front of our close kith and kin, or suppress it akartum, or anyatha kartum. Convert all these violent emotions to a soft emotion of love, care, concern, karuna, maitri, mudita, etc. This freedom is already inbuilt within us, my dear friends. This freedom that we are experiencing has to be nurtured. This is what yoga does. Yoga helps us to switch off the unwanted, uncontrolled spinning speed of thoughts, which are the ones which happen in the brain area, release wrong chemicals which work on the immune system or any other endocrine system or autonomic nervous system, and increase their activity. So there are two things that happen in the immune system. One is they either become hypoimmune. I am very much stressed, I am losing my sleep over the things, and therefore my immune system also has become either hypo or hyper, sometimes hypo. Hypoimmunity means vulnerable to various infections. Hyper means overreacting. This is what is autoimmunity. The immune system is stimulated so much that it picks up our own tissue material as foreign and starts fighting. And that fighting we know how to suppress with strong medication. But we still have to remember that the problem is uncontrolled speed of the mind which is persisting. What yoga tells us is recognize this first. Recognize what is happening as uncontrolled speed, and it percolates into the body as uncontrolled inflammation. So if everything is uncontrolled speed, what is the solution? Give techniques which will help them to slow down, slow down, slow down and switch off. So the technique of handling the mind to slow down the uncontrolled, speeded up thoughts is the solution. This we call as manaha prashamana upayaha, mind slowing down trick. To slow down the mind, slow down the breathing, slow down your tension in your muscles, relax, relax, relax. So large number of techniques, physical yoga, breathing yoga, meditative yoga, intellectual yoga, emotional yoga. We incorporate all these and help people to undergo this training in our campus. As I told you, all the non-communicable diseases, be it diabetes, hypertension, heart disease, or many autoimmune diseases, arthritis, in all these, what is the understanding? Change the mindset, learn how to switch off the mind, learn how to calm down the mind, learn how not to react at all. Situation, reaction, suppress. Situation, reaction, suppress. No, that is the root cause. So situation is there, but I know how to not react. I'll tell you an example. One person was here. He used to have enormous anxiety of travel. He used to live in Guwahati and family was in Kolkata. Every week or 2 weeks, once in 2 weeks, he had to come to Kolkata from Guwahati. He developed this anxiety of claustrophobia, as we call it. What is that claustrophobia? He even told me that once he had got into the aircraft, and when they announced that the doors are getting closed, he became so restless that he had to request the organizers to open the door and cancel the flight and come back. That was the level of extreme anxiety he had. When he came here, he understood, all that I need to do is to slow down my thoughts, isn't it? Okay, teach me techniques, I'll do that. And he learned this concept of how to slow down the mind by using what we call as cyclic meditation. In cyclic meditation, what we teach is recognize the speed of thoughts and give a little awareness, then slow down. It's a very, very powerful technique which we have shown to be very effective by research. In research, what we found was cyclic meditation gives 3 times more rest within 22 minutes as compared to 6 hours of sleep. So this he learned, and he completely overcame his anxiety and is totally free from any medication. So internal self-corrective techniques, we now call it as special techniques for particular disease. We have 8 departments in our campus. Each disease person, we do a detailed history and decide which is the point of pain and give them a routine. What routine? They start the day at 5:30 a.m. with Om meditation. Then they go on for physical yoga or specific special technique. Then they take their breakfast, which is very important, a healthy, vegetarian, wholesome diet, and they come to the Maitri Milan, in which they listen to the knowledge from Bhagavad Gita and other texts. Then they go for detoxification, maybe a yogic kriya or Ayurvedic detoxification or naturopathy detoxification, and clear the toxins in the body which have accumulated due to this stress. And lifestyle, wrong diet, lack of physical activity, and emotional upsets with lot of sleep imbalances and this stress. Then they go through 4 major sessions of deeply restful meditative techniques: cyclic meditation, mind sound resonance technique, slow pranayamas, Om meditation, and yogic counseling. So we have hour to hour slots to work with this, and we work as a team here, the Integrative Medicine group. We have in every department one yoga expert, modern medical expert, Ayurveda expert, naturopathy expert. We interact with each other and ensure that we teach the safest method of yoga in special technique and safe method of selecting Ayurveda drugs which should not interact with the allopathy medicines they are already taking. So with this, we are documenting the data and we have shown how it can reverse the condition. This is to sum up, yoga is having a reversibility model. Prasava, how the disease has come up, Prati Prasava as Patanjali calls it, return to the original nature, which is happiness, harmony, blissful experience in the midst of problems, not to run away from the problems. And we, as all of you would have understood, S-VYASA is the university where we have a research department where we document all these data, how it started and what is the change after they have been here. I welcome the entire society to adopt this yogic lifestyle, first to prevent the diseases which are purely because of our lifestyle, and adopt techniques which are available, evidence-based, and we are happy that the whole earth is going to take up this soft power to help ourselves to be healthy and happy.
Thank you, Didi, for those practical and valuable suggestions. We are truly grateful for your presence today. Thank you, audience, for joining us today. Stay tuned for upcoming lectures like this. Thank you.
Thank you.